We've started working with what we call position versus time graphs that we derive from a motion diagram. And once you get your data, you can get the slope of a best fit line, and you know that's rise over run, which is, of course, the change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis. And because of what we plotted as our dependent variable, the position you're in, and our independent variable being time, that can be stated as our slope is the change in position over the change in time. And this ratio of position to time is actually known as speed. The speed of the object is the slope of a position versus time graph. And sometimes that gets abbreviated as d over t, because this is your position, it's a distance you've traveled, and t for time. So speed, sometimes called velocity, where we might use a variable v, is the ratio of distance traveled to time as long as the object is traveling at a constant speed. So when you look at a motion diagram for something traveling at a constant speed, you will see that the dots are equally spaced apart for a position time graph. Now, what's up with this y-axis? It says it's a position, it's called the y-axis, and I called it position, and then instead of the letter Y, I used the letter D. Where did D come from if that's position? Well, since position is a distance, we can use the letter D. Sometimes the position distance is horizontal. The car travels horizontally on the street. The racer runs in a straight line. So when we run along what we consider a horizontal axis, sometimes it even gets the letter X on the y-axis. Oh, the horror of that. That just, yeah, I know. Just accept it. That's why I always like to use the letter D for position. Sometimes the position distance is vertical. We dropped a Chromebook out the third floor window. It fell down. Its displacement, its position went from being high to low. So when things travel in the vertical direction, we sometimes use the letter Y to represent the y-axis. That made up for the horror of having X on the Y. So when you're asking yourself, what's up with all the labeling on the y-axis, just tell yourself, this is the dependent variable. It's a position distance. It could be a distance traveled from one position to another in the x direction, or the distance traveled from one position to another along a y or vertical direction.